My Paper Connection. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in the United States, and today we're going to make a really fun card. This is the Easel card, and I am using the Wildcat stamp set and the dies to make it, and I absolutely love how it turned out. We made this at one of my team meetings recently. I wanted to show them how to use the stamps and dies and how to make an easel card, and it turned out so lovely. So without further ado, let's get started. Okay, so we're going to start out with our piece of cardstock. It is Evening Evergreen. It's 4 1/4 by 11, and it is scored at 5 1/2 and 2 3/4. And so I'm going to go ahead and score it, or I'm sorry, burnish it, fold it and burnish it, and then I'm going to turn it in again. You're going to do it basically right at halfway. Okay, I've already cut my pieces, most of my pieces out. So this is Cajun Craze. It's cut at 2 1/2 by 4, and then I'm going to take a piece of the In the Wild, and it is cut at let's see, 2 1/4 by 3 3/4. And I have two of these, and I'm going to glue them onto the Cajun Craze before placing it onto my card base. In the Wild designer series paper, when I first saw it, I wasn't really keen on it, but it is just perfect with this stamp set and these beautiful, beautiful colors. And we're going to do that one more time with another piece. So you want two of those 2 1/4 by 3 3/4 pieces. And you're going to glue this onto the front as well. You do want to try to keep your lines even. There we go. All right, so for the inside, I have a piece of 4 by 5 1/4, and it's also Cajun Craze, and then a piece of basic white that is 3 3/4 by 5. I'm going to go ahead and stamp the inside for this, and I want it to say, "You are fierce." Hopefully, since I've already glued it on, I won't mess it up. There we go, and I didn't. Yay! And then I'm going to take a piece of the designer series paper. I think this is 1 1/4, but let's see. 1 1/2 by 3 3/4. And I'm just going to glue that on. I wanted it to look a little jungly on the inside. So we're going to put that right across the bottom down here. Then we're going to glue that onto the inside of the card. All right, so now we're going to get some stamping done. Okay, I brought in some basic white paper. We're going to get our stamping done. And because these are photopolymer stamps, I am going to use my Stampin' Pierce mat. And I'm bringing in Bumblebee. Since it's such a big one, let me go ahead and just do it facing up. Okay, then we're just going to place it down here like this. Okay, we'll go ahead, since we already have our Bumblebee out, we'll go ahead and ink up our other cat as well. The next thing we're going to do is to bring in our soft suede, and we are going to stamp the spots. Now this particular stamp is kind of hard to see, but if you hold it up to a light, you can see that there's ears and a nose. And what you're going to do is ink this up with soft suede, and then you're going to try to line up the ears and the nose, and hopefully I can do this without sticking my head in the camera. Hey, that's pretty good. Now I'm going to take the one with the tiger stripes and I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to match up the nose and the ears, and hopefully I'll do as well as I did on the last one. Pretty doggone good, I'll tell you. All right, now I'm going to take the stripes for the body and we're going to line those up. And it's just going to come along right about in here. Pretty good. So I've got my spots, and I am going to, on my, what is that, a cheetah? I don't know. I don't really know my cats, but I know it's not a tiger. I think it might be a cheetah. So I'm just going to do the smallest spots in small places because I don't want it to get outside of the lines. And then I'll use my other spots and go along right around in here. So we are just, so we're spotting up our cat a bit. Like that. All right. The next thing we're going to do is to cut them out. So I'm going to bring in my Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. All right, so let's go ahead and place our dies in place. So we've got our dies in place, our die in place, that is. And I like to use a little bit of washi tape just to keep it in place. Now we're going to put it on our tiger. I remember the tiger because I remember Tony the tiger. I don't remember too many characters, cartoon characters of cats that have spots. All right, so let's get this in here. Put a little down on that. Then we're going to crank it through. All right, and they turned out so pretty. Really great. All right, before we actually start putting our cats on, we have one more thing to stamp. I'm going to use my Stampin' Pierce mat again. I'm bringing in the Evening Evergreen. This is basic white, and I used the Hippo and Friends dies to cut these out. Now what I want to happen, you'll notice that it says have a wild and then under that birthday. And you'll notice that the stamp itself is one line. So what I did was I took a Post-it note and I just placed that Post-it note right across my stamp where I didn't want it to be inked. And I'm going to hold that in place and I'm going to ink it up. Then I'm going to take the Post-it note off and I'm going to say have a wild. Okay, so then I'll take my Post-it, I'm going to use another one because that one got really inky. And now I want it to say birthday. So I'm going to take my Post-it note and I'm going to place it over have a wild and I will ink up birthday. Okay, take my Post-it note off. I'm going to come up under it and say birthday. Okay, isn't that perfect? It's a great way to be able to change your stamps around. So if they're on two lines or one line, it doesn't mean it has to be on one line. You can make it on two, like I did. Okay, then we're just going to put this in place. Okay, then I am going to put it in place on my card. Okay, so what I'm going to do is put my thumb right about where I don't want the ink to go any further than, okay? So we'll just put the ink, not the ink, the glue, duh. And we'll place it on just like this. Okay, it's perfect. Alrighty, let me get that out of the way. Now I've already cut some pieces. I already have some Evening Evergreen pieces cut out and a couple of soft succulent pieces cut out. These are also from the that cat, let's see, what is the name of the dies? Big Cat dies. All right, so we're going to place dimensionals on the back of our spotted cat. Please feel free to make note of what this cat is in the comments section. I'm sure you guys know. All right, so then we're just going to place this on our sentiment layer. And we're going to place it right here. I think I should have named my business name Inky Fingers because, goodness, I have some inky fingers. All right, I'm going to take a little bit of glue behind the greenery and just kind of tuck it behind his behind back there. Put a little bit of glue back here too so it stays in place. Okay, and then I'm going to take one of the soft succulent ones and put a little glue back there, and we'll put it right here. Okay, so now what we want to do is to put some dimensionals on the back of our big tiger. Okay, I'm going to bring in some mini ones because I want some on those legs. So we're going to just put some on those legs so that they don't pop up when you don't want them to. Okay. All right, and we're just going to place this on the inside down here. We'll glue one of these down. Maybe right about in there. And then we'll put one of these in front of him. The last thing we're going to do is decorate it with a pretty little rhinestone. And it's so pretty already with everything that I don't really feel like we need to add much more than just the one. I don't like where that's at. So we're going to put it down here. And look how pretty this card ends up being. And with your cat here on the inside, it stands to, it's there to hold it in place. You could, if you wanted a lot more room to write, you could easily put one on the back, a basic white on the back. But look how cute that card is. It's so cute. Now what you could do is to put this, I probably should have done that. Okay, that's what I did on this one, and I made a mistake on that one. I should have put it here. All right, so don't look at this one, look at this one. Because when it's in place on that lower level, then you can see it whenever it's open, where if it's like this, you can't. So big mistake, don't do that. But look how pretty it is. It turned out so good, and I really, really like it. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please ring the bell, hit subscribe, give me a thumbs up, any comments, anything like that. Share it with your friends. I really appreciate you watching, and if you would like to know the sizes and measurements, the supplies, everything that I use, it'll be in my website at mypaperconnection.com. Thanks, and have a great day. Bye.